首相官邸の報道官は、2020年4月6日声明を発表し、新型コロナウイルス感染が確認され、5日に入院したジョンソン首相が集中治療室に移されたと明らかにした。ジョンソン氏の容体が6日午後から悪化したため、医師の勧めで移ることを決めた。ラーブ外相が必要に応じて代行を務める。ジョンソン氏は3月27日に感染を
Got some breaking news from here in the United Kingdom. It's being reported that the Prime Minister Boris Johnson, who was admitted to hospital on Sunday night, is now in intensive care. Let's speak to our Europe correspondent, Simon McGregor-Wood. Simon, bring us up to date.
That's right, Adnan. Yes, we're just seeing the first statement from Number 10 released in the last few minutes. At 7 p.m, we understand UK time, that's about an hour and 15 minutes ago, Boris Johnson was moved from his normal bed at St Thomas' Hospital into the intensive care unit. The statement says, over the course of the afternoon, I'm reading it now, the condition of the Prime Minister has worsened, and on the advice of his medical team, he has been moved to the intensive care unit at the hospital. The Prime Minister has asked the Foreign Secretary, Dominic Raab, who is the first Secretary of State, to deputise for him where necessary. So a dramatic development in the last few minutes. News made public by Number 10 Downing Street. The nature of the condition, the extent of the worsening in the Prime Minister's condition is not clear, but it is sufficiently serious for him to have been moved into the intensive care unit. It is thought he is still conscious. He was able to call Dominic Raab, the Foreign Secretary, to hand over the temporary reins of power. And we understand that in the next hour or so, Dominic Raab will be making some kind of statement from Number 10. But that is the latest situation as far as the British Prime Minister is concerned. He is now in intensive care fighting COVID-19.
Simon, just if you don't mind, just talk us through the timeline about when he was diagnosed, what he's been doing since the diagnosis, and why he was admitted last night on Sunday night.
Diagnosed about 10 days ago. Was due to come out of isolation last Friday, didn't. Said he was okay. People were concerned about his condition. There were an increasing number of reports that in the conference calls he was conducting from Number 11 Downing Street, he looked bad. He was coughing a lot. And then on Sunday evening, it was announced that he had been advised to go to hospital for tests. That was last night. He's been kept in under observation. We had some briefing earlier on Monday suggesting that he was okay, that he would be kept in for observation while those tests were being run, and that in the meantime he remained in charge of the government and its fight against the virus crisis. And now this dramatic development. So in the space of half a day, this afternoon, at some point medically, the Prime Minister's condition appears to have got significantly worse. It appears from the stuff that I'm reading as I'm talking to you that he may well still be conscious. It's not that serious, and moving into the ICU at St Thomas's may just make it easier for his medical team to help, perhaps with oxygen supply, etc., etc. But it's very clear that as far as his condition is concerned, so far it's going in the wrong direction. And during the course of the day, I had to say there were increasingly strident questions about whether it was a good idea for him to stay in charge. Why should he be working in hospital? There were reports that he was receiving cabinet papers, that he was in touch with ministers. Shouldn't he be just concentrating on getting better? Was a question we were hearing, certainly from journalists, but also, I had to say, from people within the Conservative Party and within the government as well. And here we are, several hours later after those questions were asked, the condition of the Prime Minister appears to have significantly deteriorated. Although I have to say, it's impossible at this point, without more medical bulletins, just to give you an accurate impression of just how serious his condition is. But clearly, to use Downing Street's word, it has worsened.
Simon, thank you.
せーの。また会えるよね。お疲れ様でした。